There's a lot of CGI news that's starting to slowly leak out. Nothing like
we don't
major.
got no spoilers like last week.
No. It's I almost feel like the first CGI round was kind of magical because we didn't know anything about it. We didn't know the format. We didn't know who was going to be in it. So when they were dropping the names individually, it was like, and it was going on at the same time as ADCC. So you knew that anybody that went in there and went to CGI was stolen from ADCC. So it was almost like an moment, and we don't really have those. And I think it's kind of smart that they switched it up and are doing this team format tournament because it's a new kind of like, oh shit, we got to watch now because there's nothing predictable. There's nothing about last tournament that's going to be the same other than maybe like the pit.
I think going for the $1 million individually is still a cool thing.
I agree.
But to get more guys involved, more elite guys.
Right.
Because one thing I've said about jiu-jitsu is jiu-jitsu, there's no disguising your jiu-jitsu. Either you're him or you're not him. Mm-hmm. And the people that are that guy are going to win. So it's like, hey, I'm great. Not me personally, but say, hey, I'm world-class jiu-jitsu guy. But you got your hierarchy guys, your staples in the game. We're going to go for the $1 million. You're not going to get lucky and catch him with a heel hooker.
Right.
That guy's going to win probably. Right. But making it a team format, hey, we could all get it. Let's combine our forces with Buchecha. Let's combine our forces with a Nicky Rod. And then we can form a bad overall team, and then you can get more mega stars competing.
You know what I think is kind of cool is we kind of missed with Buchecha retiring from jiu-jitsu, competitive jiu-jitsu to go MMA. We kind of missed a lot of really great potential matchups with guys like Nicky Rod and stuff like that because that was kind of like the new guard coming up as he was kind of departing. And
they both did ADCC together.
Was that Nicky Rod's first ADCC?
Where he fought Cyborg?
Yeah.
They were both there. Shesha made the finals against Gordon, but that was like the one time I think they were in the same tournament. But other than that, yeah, we did kind of miss that, So some people.
Well, I think that
in our comment,
this throws up a lot of like potential, like, oh fuck, this is a matchup we might not have ever seen. You know what I mean? If it wasn't for this tournament, what else was going to bring Buchecha back into competitive jiu-jitsu? It had to be a high dollar tournament,
Right. Exactly. That's what's going to, and he had a high, what I'm hearing, birdies in the air have said that he had offered money to do CJI last year and he wanted to, we all know that, but like they wanted him. They like, it wasn't just like, hey, you're going to get this no matter what. Like, I think his price was a little different.
Right. Understandable.
It wasn't $10,001. It was more. Right. But I think some people forget about how good Marcus Almeida is.
I agree. There were some people in the comments saying that, like, the game's changed since he was in the competitive space, and it's like, do you think he stopped training jiu-jitsu? Do you think he just?
Yeah, you think Buchecha is not doing jiu-jitsu? I assure you, he's still training. Again, and I assure you that room is still dangerous.
Yeah.
I think he's coming. It'll be also a little bit like, don't forget who you're talking to here.
Right.
Like, don't put some respect on my name.
Right.
If you think Hocha did good last year, you just watch this year, dude. Like that, it'll be. I'm excited. I'm excited for that. I've remember watching him when I was blue belt, and we'd be there, and all the checkman guys would be jumping up and down, going all crazy. Like, it's a whole experience, especially when the checkmat team. Maybe this is a little, homer dick riding, whatever. But when the whole checkmat team gets together and they all sit in the same area and they all jump up and down and go crazy when their guys are competing, like that energy alone, at CJI, when all the checkmats sitting in one little section and they're all jumping up and going crazy and like,
right.
It is something to experience.
I think it's cool too because of the team format. It's not like, oh shit, we've got an athlete. You know what I mean? Like our team has an athlete in CJI. It's like, dude, we got a team in CJI. And I think
this team could say we're the best team in the world. Like, so what, like when it's coming down to, it's kind of like what Super Cup is trying to do at a lower level. The CJI platform is saying, these are all the biggest teams that everybody knows about.
Right.
And everybody my whole jiu-jitsu could say, well, you know, Gracie,
this is the World Cup.
Gracie Baja. And yeah, this is the world. Basically it's a World Cup.
Right.
Exactly. Kenny.
Jiu-jitsu.
Is a world. Yes. And this will stake claim. Who is the best team? We talk a lot of shit. We have talked shit on Gracie Baja and some of the stuff they do. They come out and they win this fucking tournament.
Right.
They could be, hey, CJI 2025 CJI winners.
Right.
That is a staple. We're the best team. Come train with us.
Right.
All those other teams have their best. They didn't make it. We won. So whatever team wins is going to have some huge bragging rights, and their schools probably will be rewarded for it with memberships. So it's a huge deal.
Right. I think it's cool too that that he's allowing like Daisy Fresh to have a team and some of the like not worldwide gyms, you know what I mean, but are still
Jeff Jitsus.
Right. Right. You know, they've got a world-class competitive team, you know what I mean? Like there's Daisy Fresh did something special, made a name for themselves, and then they've earned themselves a spot at CGI, which is pretty rad. You know what I mean? So
it's pretty cool. I wonder who's going to be on that like outsider team that like doesn't have it.
Right.
Like who's a free agent? I know Mikey Musumeci is he could fight for all the teams. He's trained for all of them.
Right.
He jumps teams more than I jumped girlfriends in my 20s, dude. Like the guy just moves around. You know what I mean?
Right.
So it'll be
I don't think they'll I think he's tied to a UFC at this point.
Oh. Yeah.
And this would
what if UFC had a team?
Yeah.
That would be cool.
Yeah. Have you seen any, a quick side note before we jump back to CGI, have you seen any of the Bryce Mitchell footage lately?
Where the Twister stuff?
Yeah, he went out to just 10 Planet HQ and was, doing some training out there and getting some
Yeah, I saw that.
Filmed.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's pretty cool. He's legit. He's a little off, but
right. I think he did really well at adapting a jiu-jitsu style for combat. You know what I mean?
Right.
He's constantly thinking like, yes, strike, but how can I submit from here too? Which is neat.
He's legit one of the few guys who legit uses, that game.
Right.
He likes to get to the Twister game and all that. So, but yeah, I'm excited for CJI. I'm excited to see guys get some respect that they deserve. I'm excited to see who is the best team out there going. Obviously, we have our favorites. Let's take Checkmate out because that's where we're going to lean because those are the guys we know.
Right.
Who do you what team do you think has the advantage?
It's hard to tell until we see what the final roster is.
And let's just hypothetically say Gordon is on New Wave. Okay. So you're going to have Marigali and Gordon, top staples of New Wave.
That could be tough.
And then I don't know who else is on there.
I think Asari's going to be there.
Okay.
Because I think that they were saying it was going to be like Asar. There was like a couple. There was one of them was oh my God, what's his name? Gordon's buddy that has like the missing hair on his beard and
oh shit, I don't know, dude.
Gary Tonin.
Gary Tonin.
I think Gary Tonin is the same size weight wise as Asari, but I think Asari would be a better pick.
Tonin's a fucking beast, dude.
Tonin is a beast, but
he is so good, dude. He's so good. That'd be crazy.
Do you think that do you think 10 Planet takes Varela?
I mean, I think that'd be smart. Right? Who do you think they're going to throw out there? for heavyweight.
In my experience, the 10th Planet, when 10th Planet builds a team, it tends to be the HQ guys. So it tends to be the guys that train with Eddie the most, that live in LA, or maybe like, because I always consider like the Boogie and Geo schools kind of like real close extensions of HQ.
Mm-hmm.
So that's where you get the Barches and the Kyle Baines and all that stuff. Yeah. So I think from a heavyweight standpoint, if they could get him, because I don't know if he's still in contract with PFL/Bellator, I would say, and if he's not injured, because remember he was supposed to face Gordon recently, Vinny Megalesh would be their would be their heavyweight pick. I saw that they were saying that it could go PJ Barch, or what's the new guy, the Russian guy, Fedor.
They got the Bioval.
Yeah.
Like PGF.
Yeah. So he was good, but I think PJ's a better, more rounded grappler at this current juncture.
And kind of a better name right now.
Yeah. So I think if they were to pick in that weight category, I would go PJ Barch over the other two options.
They were saying Eddie's just happy he got a Russian.
Yeah.
With Fyodor. He's just happy he's got a Russian. He converted one. I'm like, good for Eddie. That would be sick, dude.
Yeah. They've got a potential and whatnot, but I think where it's going to come down to is we know that bigger guys are a problem to deal with when we're talking high level jiu-jitsu. Everybody that's going to be competing in here is going to have high level game. So it's less of a, like, where are the advantages coming in? It's going to be size is going to be, one of the biggest advantages that you can't mitigate. So if they run it how Quintet was, you may have a small guy versus a big guy in a match at some point in time. So who is going to be the guy that can beat the Gordon, that can beat the Marigali, that can beat the Nicky Rod? You know what I mean? Like you're going to have somebody that's that size, that speed, and that skill.
I'm just coming back because maybe this is the team we know, but if they add, which I have not heard anything, this is just me hypothetical here. If Jensen Gomes is the other guy for Checkmate, this is, I don't see it. It's going to be hard for us.
How big is he?
Hard for Checkmate to lose. Like,
how big is he?
Elder Cruz, Tackett.
Yeah.
Gomes, Buchecha.
Yeah. Do you think that they'll train together?
Add Wardzinski in there too.
Do you think they'll train together? Do you think that they'll, because they were talking about Lucas being the team captain, yeah?
Yeah, but I mean, that's what everybody says in the comments. Lucas coaching, but I'm like, I know he was like one of the head coaches for like the World's team. He's really involved at HQ, but like you would think Leo would be, unless one FC. I know Leo is really, really contracted to one with Tom DeBlas, so maybe he can't.
Right.
But if they're letting Buchecha go, that's probably why. I mean, Leo's there now, It's like, no, Buchecha's coming. Like, I don't know, man. We're so far away, but I'm like, just want a fast forward button.
I think what they were smart to do is, remember I was saying like last season, it was like a lot of like, what's the next name they're going to drop? Excitement there. Now there's so many potentials. They're being smart about it and they're throwing out the potentials. And they're like, who do you think? So now everybody gets to speculate. They get to sit around and do what we're doing, do this jiu-jitsu math.
Podcast clips, all those clips they get to throw out there.
Yeah. It's just
and then for fucking $20, you guys want to Venmo me or Cash App me $20, I'll throw your name in the clip. I was like, fucking so-and-so from... Oh, yeah. Because we're hoes for money.
Fuck.
Fucking Chad Rybar, you heard of him? That guy's a fucking monster.
The zombie?
Fucking get
the zombie?
The zombie? Oh, if they get if Checkmate adds Chad Rybar, the zombie, dude, fuck.
Yeah.
That's $20, Chad.
You're not submitting them.
You're not submitting him. He will crawl out there. You know what I mean? You want some fucking gray chest hair on your nose, dude? Shout out, Chad.